Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to take a ride on an esoteric cloud, which is a lighter, less dense and also vibing on a higher frequency and vibration vehicle in comparison to the vehicles we are using at the moment right now, within the most percentage levels, aka your mind, your emotions and your body, right? And that vehicle, the esoteric cloud, can fly to higher, more expanded, wider and wiser realms of reality, so you can take a higher look at your circumstances and yourself, and you can feel lighter and better about yourself and your circumstances as well. Before we start, I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity and responsibility, and remember to follow your individuality in order to maintain your sanity. Also, check my Linktree and Mysterious Linktree in the description down below. A huge shout out to my Pokemon Unite team, Unique Stars, and a huge shout out to the SoulGroup, to my SoulGroup, to Archangel Uriel, and to everybody out there changing the world right now. So, Mercury in Taurus, y'all. It's already in Taurus for a little while. We are already like past 5 degrees, so it's already kicking in. So this video can apply to the past few days, past week, if you want to make sense out of what was in your mind or what was in others' minds and was communicated to you via a communication, a conversation, an email, a text message, or like somebody shared a video with you, or you watched the video and you related mentally, yeah, that makes sense, yeah, I would apply that into my life type of way. That's all being brought in, or being brought, yeah, it's always being brought to our mental awareness, to our higher chakras by that, or in the shape and form Taurus energy, what we call Taurus energy, right? So that energy comes from the second house, from the house, the space where most spirits that are there, they like to fixate on their own way to be practical and create something physical out of their imaginations and understanding of spiritual travels. Okay, that leads into stubbornness, consistency, leads into having a tough time into moving on, into adapting new shapes and forms. You can become a demon or a warrior because you try to uphold or defend your current position and it's not beneficial for you, right? And you still around that space like it's the best space in the whole universe. Okay, so that will be your mind right now. All right, so, and the thing is, you and people around you might think that being sturdy, being super stubborn and consistent and always being on point with your mental awareness is the intelligence. It's you are intelligent and that's very, very important. Well, that it's true, but everything a percentage level, right? So especially right now with Mercury in Taurus, that might be misunderstood. People might think that being fixed on your own way to think, communicate, being practical and achieve a stability and safety by thinking, communicating and analyzing, people might think that's the best way to be right now, and you might be damaging yourself, you might be impeding yourself from moving on to a better place because you are comfortable, or just because you worked so hard to create this mental space or to achieve a way that you can communicate with others and be seen, in that way, in that light, and you don't want to leave it behind. All right, so in order to balance these energies, right, you should use more water energy, more Scorpio energy, in the case that you give a meaning and a reason to that whole process of leaving that shape and form behind, so you can go to a better one and you be fixed on your emotions and feelings instead of just being fixed on what is happening, or what people, places and things are changing or want to change in your life. Because Mercury was or is in Taurus, but the Sun was in Aries, now coming into Taurus. We have Mars right now, Venus, Jupiter, Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Aquarius, right? So when we talk about the singular alignment, Mars in Pisces right now as well, Venus in Pisces. When I do, or when you watch a video about one single planet, you have to keep in mind that that's a star in a constellation, not literally, right? But like, I'm an individual, but I'm a star in the constellation we call world. We are, aka the individual makes a part of it, it's a part of the group. So Mercury is in Taurus, so your mind is fixed, right? But the world around you is not. It's actually very changing. Even Saturn in Aquarius, which is fixed air, is about change and being unique and bringing new things to the conscious, to the awareness, to the physical awareness, to the mental awareness of the human collective, right? So your mind might be fixed or stuck, or you think that by being consistent or just working hard, spending a lot of time grinding in that mental space, or anything you're doing, it's the right way to do. And yes, it might be the right way to do it, but you are doing on the wrong places. Because remember, Earth is very, very physical, it's the most dense element, and Taurus is fixed Earth. So Taurus is the most real, the most dense, the most present in our day-to-day life energy, if you want to look at that in that way. So you might be consistent instead of stubborn, but you were stuck on something, or you are doing the same thing, and you should literally change that thing. If you play a video game, you should change to another one, or the way you do it, okay? Because you can be consistent in that new way. And the sun right now is at 28 degrees Aries, so that's a perfect way to prepare yourself for this sun in Taurus season. It's like you create a fixed mind in a new space, all right? Because that new space was created or brought to your awareness when Mercury is in Aries and Sun right now in Aries as well. But your mind was still, or is right now, trying to find a fixed ground, trying to find something to stay on, and you find a way to think that, yeah, I'm smart, yeah, I can make sense out of the world. But the world is changing right now, so maybe you are trying so much to make sense out of the world in one picture, but you should, instead of trying to make sense, you should try to understand that maybe it's not time to make sense out of the world right now. I just need to make sense of what can I use to be stable, or what can I use to feel safe. You don't need to make sense of everything that is happening right now while the sun is transiting into Taurus, because then when the sun goes into Taurus, then with this Mercury in Taurus, you can really communicate and conversate and show to others whatever you are paying attention at that moment, because the Sun and Mercury will resonate. So that was just a bit of a warning. Don't get stuck. It might seem like the right way, the right thing to do right now, but it might not be. Just because it works, it doesn't mean it's the right way to do just because it works, it doesn't mean it's the right thing to be doing right now. And you might be working very hard with your mind and think it's the right way to do, but you should be working smart instead of hard as well. Because many people, even people that have Taurus energy themselves, they be seen as consistent and stubborn or lazy, or they stay a long time in the same place. But the fixed energy can be mutable and cardinal as well. Actually, if Tauruses are ready to change, they are ready to move on, then they get fixated the fastest and the deepest if they were already comfortable. Because if they need to start the process and getting comfortable and changing at the same time, it might be too much to their fixed awarenesses, and it might create a longer process, all right? And your mind right now can be going through that right now, okay? You might be creating a way to think and communicate that is trying to relate too much, or trying to take examples out of the world too much when it comes to judging, addressing, and giving attributes to your values, the things that you value and the things that you have within you or around you, as in possessions or talents, that you want to, So you have talents, you have those gifts, you have material things, and then you value those things, and then you look at the world and you make a way to think in how does the world judge the things that I have, and I judge those things valuable, but does the world judge those things valuable? So right now you are thinking about that, you are going in on that. You might be going too deep where it's not needed. You don't need to attach a sense of love, a sense of neediness, a sense of necessity. You don't need to attach a sense of validation to certain aspects of yourself or certain material things or to your status right now, because you might think, oh, I can show myself right now in this way because I don't have that money, or I don't have that thing. You might be cursing out your parents, saying that you're going to live better than them, and right now at the moment you are not. So you want to create ways where you show that yes, I am. So you are fixated on that image and you want to uphold it via conversations and communications, right? And that's not that's not the right thing to do, but it might feel like it's the right thing to do, and you might be trying to make others value things that you said or have right now. Like, I'm going to achieve a certain status. You said that, you were very deep about that. When Mercury was in Aries, you were like changing and opposing, right? But right now, you might be still creating that mind. You might still creating that spaceship, but because you behaved yourself in that way, now you are trying to create a fixed way to justify that cardinality, that initiative, that impulsiveness as well, okay? And that's right now being highlighted because the sun is in the cusp between Aries and Taurus as well. But in general, we have a fixed mind, we have a more clear mind. If you don't associate too much love and necessity to the world around you and the things that you have, your mind will be clear. But it's very easy to get your mind in the mud because it's fixed earth, it's Taurus. So you might be fixed, like you might have very good manifestations from this full moon, right? But you are thinking too much or giving too much clinginess to those things, so it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and now those things, thinking about those things might hurt you instead of remind you how much you have manifested or how much you have progressed in your life as well, okay? So there is also a little bit, not much as Mercury in Aquarius, but there is a little bit of divine insatisfaction right now, okay? That can turn into stress eating, that can be transformed into a feeling of tiredness or bored or being bored because you have ideas. You might, it's easier right now also to take forms of spirituality and create a video about it, create a business about it, create a way to communicate that can give you profit about it. And yes, I forgot about that, but you might be focusing too, you might be focusing your mind too, you might be focusing your mind too much in making profit. And Taurus misunderstands Sag, and sometimes the profit is on the experience itself, not on the money or on the associations that you receive from that experience, okay? So you might be focusing too much on profit, right? And you might be clinging on too much to material things or to statuses or to comfort in your life with your mind as well. And remind yourself, Mars, Venus, Jupiter and Neptune are in Pisces, Saturn is in Aquarius as well, but the Sun is coming into Taurus, so that will be, and Uranus is in Taurus as well. I was not reminding that. So even the Taurus energy itself right now is influenced by change, right? So you might be trying too hard to maintain your mind real. You might be trying too hard to be smart and intelligent. You might be trying too hard to show others via communications and posts on social media that you are working hard, that you are grinding every single day. And you are misunderstanding how to use Mercury in Taurus. You should be using that to attract people, places, and things that value you as highly or close to how you value yourself and the things that you have, right? And that speaks pretty much for itself. So Mercury in Taurus, that's it. We are thinking and communicating about fixed ways to be practical, to think, to communicate, to receive examples from the external world and internalize them. And we are thinking and communicating about profit, business, changes, agriculture, cryptocurrency, forex trading, investing in companies, creating your company, investing in somebody that you know company. Because of this Pisces energy, you might fixate your mind in somebody else's dreams, in somebody else's imaginations, and somebody else's business. Very, 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 very important. Be sure to focus your mind on your own business as well. Okay, get fixated on your own business and use a little bit of the neighbor sign of Gemini to gossip a little bit to help you open up in general, because Taurus energy might put our minds in a closed mouth space, too much internal, too much judging, too much process of doing the inventory, right? We have this amount of feelings, this amount of ideas, they cost this, they cost that. So that might be just going on right now inside of you, because Mercury in Taurus, it's okay, but it's more internal. So it might look like it's not okay, but it's okay. It's still Earth, it still makes sense. It's not as mutable and communicative and flexible as Virgo, but it's right next to Gemini, so you can see. It's like it might be hard to do it right now, but if you see it, if you know it's there and close to you, it's easier to go into that way, which is the third house way, the Gemini way. Be more open and relatable to your surroundings. Just make sure that the people, places, and things that you are open up in order to ease up that Taurus energy, they value you or your things, or they have the same values, or they want to do business. Not like they want to do business with you, but let's say you have your own business and you have some type of frustration. You were thinking too much, right? Mercury in Taurus, and you have this frustration. Oh, these clients, they do this, they do that. If you go talk to your friend that works a 9 to 5 regular job, they'll be like, yeah man, yeah, same. They'll be like, just, they might have a nice conversation, they might have Mercury in Gemini or Aquarius, but it's not, it's not, they don't really know what you're going through. And you might have a friend, they have their own business, or they do more things on their own time, and they'll be like, yeah, I really understand that. And then they get fixated on that conversation that you initiated, and you build together, because Taurus is also about building. You build a tower, you build a fort, you build a castle, and now because remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus, so that relationship helped you build a stronger mentality where you release that tension and accumulation from fixating your mind on your own business, aka Mercury in Taurus. All right, great piece of advice right there. I have to praise myself. Also, remind to praise yourself, to value yourself a lot. If you like, this is the time of the year, right? If the way you talk to yourself, if you like hurt yourself, or be like, oh, I'm dumb, like you make a mistake, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so this, like in a negative way, now is the time to be like, be negative about yourself because you were negative. Like, no, I'm being stupid, calling myself stupid, something like that, okay? Because you are using the Scorpio energy, self-hurting, being a little toxic, being a little bit toxic to yourself, right? So you really realize it's really impactful to you that you are not speaking to yourself in a relatable, valuable, enjoyable, and loving way, aka Venus. All right, so you don't need to do that. That's just an example. You don't need to tuck yourself back. All right, okay, you can just recognize it, and then you make an effort to stop doing that. Really fixate on, no, let me value the good things that I have. Let me value, like you might have been through some shit. Value your ability to stay strong and withstand because you are here right now, even though you were on those all fucked up circumstances. Value that. Make sure you are fixating on your mind in valuing yourself, because Taurus fixed earth, it's very much about receiving and feeling nourished, feeling satisfied, feeling fulfilled. So if you don't do that to yourself, if you don't love yourself, there is no thing outside that will love you, right? Because you, as a spirit, are showing others that you don't care about, that you cannot do love, and you are moving in a way that you push them back by default. Like they might be complimenting you and you are so insecure, you think they are being weird, or you feel weird, or you think they are trying to give a certain underlying message, and they're just enjoying you. They have more value towards you that you have towards yourself. That might be the case. So change that right now. Be fixed. Make sure, no, I do this, or I know how to do that, or I'm very emotionally stable, or I can support others, or I can support myself, or even though I went through those up through those downs, now I'm not in the up, but I'm stable. I'm not down. You know, things like that. Make it believable to yourself with real facts. And sometimes talking with yourself will not be enough. You really need to do it. You know, and then first time might be too harsh, the second time is a little less and less, and then before you know it, you are fixed on it, because where the mind goes, the body goes. Easy. All right, guys? So don't lose your mind in like overindulging, overvaluing. Don't fall in love, rise in love as well. And because we have a lot of Pisces energy, that's actually the theme of right now. The only thing helping us is Saturn in Aquarius, trying to make sense out of all those connections and receiving stuff, because Pisces, mutable water, Taurus, fixed earth. So it's all about receiving, right? And then Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius is like upholding limits and boundaries, and like, hey, you can come in, you have good merchandise, you can come in dressed like way, there is a dress code, you can. So there is a lot of influx of stuff, and only one guard, only one person working at the delivery shop, so working at the post office. They receive a lot of packages and they need to deliver it, and only one person is working right now. So make sure that Mercury in Taurus is one of the person that can help you regulate all of that, right? You uphold your system of values, and that's half of the work done. You don't need to think so much, you don't need to worry so much, you don't need to make sure you have something to value, because you are already fixed on your own valuing system. So so then things become faster, you become more agile in how you think and communicate about reality, business, and achieving stuff on your own. But teamwork makes the dream work. Always remember that. So that was Mercury in Taurus for you guys. Make sure you are thinking about your own business. Relate a little bit in order to open up. Use Gemini energy. Don't fall into gossip. Don't fall into love. Rise in love. Rise your business. Cement anything that you started in Aries with your mind, with your building blocks, and you should be all right. Till the next time, check the link trees in the description down below. As a Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.